It didn't, she didn't, it didn't.
Yeah,
We
good
can
for
I can
you.
get you started on getting them healed.
Good for you.
Because it's so important that you keep the lead for her, Snow.
I know you probably
Okay?
did, didn't you?
And honestly, I trained.
Good for you. Wow, that was super. Good for you.
Now, I saw you did pull the leash once.
I did,
Okay.
because
Okay, so
the only time she's gonna get a pop, hi, I know I talked to you. I did, it was rude of me, and then you're being a little rude now, right? Good girl, that was clever.
that's where I want to jump on you, look.
Good girl. Yay, good for you. That was good. Right, so the ball's in her court here. Right, I'm not even asking her to heal, but she's essentially giving me healing, which is what a good with me should result in.
But it's on the dog.
Good.
So we switch back to the
Good.
retrieves.
This would be.
Yay! Up. Can you jump up? Okay, good.
She doesn't like that unless there's food. This would be a really good thing to practice at the ball field where
Right, anywhere
we're
where
not
there's
supposed to
distraction.
have dogs, but if we have them on a leash, they don't say anything.
Right, so the second she is not engaged with me,
Collar grab feed, collar grab feed.
I stop, I step back, right? I haven't used a single piece of
Right, she's
food.
like, no.
Good girl, wow, I love that. Good for you. Good.
Collar feeding her, grabbing the collar, that collar grab.
Haha, no. And the only time she's gotten popped
Because sometimes when you're.
is if I moved
Yeah, so
and
what
she
we'll
did
do
not.
is Say your name.
Right? If I go and she doesn't, then she gets a pop. Good girl, good for you. Super duper. Wow, look at you. Yahoo! Good girl. I love that. I love that. I know, Mom. I know your mama's over there. I know.
Number one, I
It's
go
okay.
up against it.
I know. That was super duper duper duper. Good girl. Okay, ready?
It's much easier to control.
Right?
the
My leash is loose.
With the cookie.
100%
Their body with the
loose.
Of course, of course. She
Haha,
has
you
to
got it again.
So you need to teach
Thought.
her that the picture of your
Good.
position is
My
here,
leash is
not
loose,
here,
loose like
and you
this.
can do that.
So it might as well not even be there. It's only there if I need to correct her because she didn't move with me.
But do it up against the wall where she feels like, okay, can't jump around, can't
Spin.
move forward.
Good girl.
And then I'm counting.
Good. Now I'm gonna purposely use some distractions.
So if I had to bring her back initially.
Good. I know you
Feel
see
it
that. You're getting
with the
drool on
cookie in
my
my
teeth.
hand, she understands that she
Drool on my
needs
teeth.
to move.
I know.
Okay? Hold the cookie over
Good
her head.
girl.
She's trying really hard.
Super.
Focuses on your face, and then she moves it.
I should have you take her in the room for me.
Nope. I live way too far away for that. Good girl. But you can have this. It's easier for me because she and I have no prior history, so, right? So I made the rules real clear to her right out of the gate with me, and she's like, okay, got it, right? I get it. I'm not gonna get myself in trouble.
They think they're right, you're crazy, and then you cause a lot of frustration in there, because that's the type of breed they are. The other type of breed they can be a little independent, they don't need us right now.
She really is smart.
She's a nice dog. She is a really nice dog, and she's got some awesome
Yeah,
skills.
she's a little resource guarder.
Lori says you're too smart
She
for me.
doesn't,
Good.
she doesn't growl.
You know, I mean, sometimes the dumb ones are easier.
Yes,
But,
yeah.
but all you have to do is set the rules, right? She knows what the rules are with me, and she's perfectly fine with that. Ready?
With you.
Please spin. Yay! Good for you. Good job. Good job. That was good. I didn't cheerlead her. I didn't feed her. And there's nothing wrong with using food as a rule, right? But she's got to really work for it on something like this. Good job. That was super.
Incredible.
Good, right? So she's stuck on me. She just needs to be stuck on you. Shut your mouth, right? The only thing I did was praise her. Okay. If she gets stuck like that in a sit, I'll release her, right? I told her okay. And remember, okay is not going to mean, all right, here. What's your word for lie down? She's got it. She's got it. Good. I don't. She's like, I know I'm supposed to stay with you. That was very clever. I like it. Stay there. Good girl. That's okay. I'm not gonna falter for that. I was asking her to stay with me, right? So,
And she will. Because my board
so-
will do that. She will entertain
what was I
herself.
saying?
So I have to watch them keep the toys away from me.
But, you know, she's happy to do it if she knows what the rules are, right? You've been trying to micromanage her and cheerlead her into doing it instead of saying, these are the rules, this is your job, right? I wasn't the least bit mean to her. I did pop her a couple of times. I wasn't the least bit mean to her. And she was very happy, actually, right? So one of the biggest problems I have with people is getting them to stop verbally trying to help the dog, right? The only thing I used my voice for was praise, right? Good, I like that, right? And it was very sincere praise because I really did like what she was doing, right? I petted her, right? I let her do some spins because she seems to like that, right? And I might have occasionally thrown in a cookie, but I actually didn't need it there, right? You know, so, you know, you need to stop kind of trying to baby her through it and instead say, listen, you can do this, right? The rules of this game are very, very simple, okay? So now you're gonna do it. So I gave her about, like, maybe half of this leash, maybe a little bit more. Loose, 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 right? As if it's not there. The only time I used it was if I moved and she did not. And she got a pop, right?
And were you always backing away from her so you're facing her?
If I lost her attention, I always moved in a different direction than where she was facing.
But you're facing her.
Yes, I'm always backing away from her so that she would be drawn to come towards me. And several times when she started to just mentally, I could see she was mentally drifting, all I did was stop. And she was like, oh, yep, right? And then I could back up and let her come with me, or I could just go ahead and move forward again, right? But what I
I don't remember. Would you say good?
yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah, I would say good, but I wouldn't have a party, right? I saved the parties for when she was being super cute and just offering me this beautiful attention, right? So a good with me should pretty much result in a dog who is essentially offering you heel, right? May not be positionally perfect, and that's okay. And that's exactly what you need for your transitions between exercises, right? And those transitions happen constantly in your training, right? It's not just something that you do when you're stringing exercises together for the ring. It's something every time I do a recall, right? I tend to try to always go back to the spot where I left the dog, right, afterwards, because it gives me a good opportunity to practice my transitions, right? So if I'm gonna work recalls with my dog, right, I'm gonna say, all right, ready? Let's go. Ready to go to recall, ready? Get close. Good. Ready? Recall. Ready? Wait. And then maybe I do a game this time. Yes. Good. Dog back to me. Ready? Come on. We're going to do recall. Let's go. Good. Get close. Good. Recall.
Isn't that kind of cheerleading? Let's go. Good.
Not if my dog's with me, it's not.
I think it's more hyping the
great.
exercise.
Right?
Okay.
Cheerleading is when you try to praise a dog who's not doing what you want.
Okay.
Right? That's how I would define cheerleading. Right? I give my dog a nice, let's go. Ooh, super cute. Ready? We're gonna do recall. Get close. Sit. Ready? Wait. Right? So, I don't mind if you talk to a dog who's doing what you want. Cheerleading is when you're trying to get the dog to do it by saying those things. Right? That's the difference. Okay? So when she's super cute, you may talk to her as much as you want. But if she's not, then you need to make it happen and then talk to her. Right? That's the difference. Okay? But that way, every time I go to do a recall, I say the same thing. To my dogs, I say, let's go. That's their cue to move between exercises. Right? My hand is always up. Right? I tell them on the way there what we're going to do. I typically do a jump up setup with my dogs, right? Then I probably tell them again. A lot of times I touch my dog when I'm setting them up, after I set them up. Then I assume the position, and I say I'm ready, because that's what I do in the ring. Except on go-outs, then I say I am, and then I do. Because the other thing, if you notice, every time I did it, it looked the same, right? It looked exactly the same. So when I go in the ring, to the dog, it is the same, right? It's not the dog who changes in the ring, it's the handler, right? Because frankly, your dog doesn't know that there's a difference between this side of the baby gates and that side, right? That you paid, $35 to be on that side of the baby gate, and that there's a judge over there. They know that you change when you walk through those gates, and you don't do the same things, right? That's the key, right? You go in there and you do your job like normal, no matter how nervous you are, then the dog is okay with it, right? It's not nerves or the ring. Now, after a while, you can start to condition a dog that when we go in the ring, mom acts weird and this is a bad place to be. You can create that association over time, right? But I still think the primary problem is that it's different. It's just, we're different, we act different, we do things differently. Whereas in training, I do things exactly, and I mean, I might be doing games, whatever, but the overall picture for the dog is the same. So when they go in the ring, it's real familiar, right? It doesn't feel weird to them. And it doesn't feel weird to me, right? So even when I am really, really nervous, when it's the final round at the NOC, and I would really like to do really well.